Alright guys, welcome back. Continuing from our effects training. So we're gonna take some quick, overview and we're gonna do it theoretically so you get to know some terms and we need to understand a basic little stuff before we get into the practical section. So first, what is effect pedal? What is an effect pedal? Effect, what is an effect pedal? Effect pedal is basically a tool, electronic device we use in what? In shaping our sound. We use it in getting our desired tone, you know. So note, effect pedal is not limited only to, you know, it's not limited to guitar, lead guitar or bass guitar alone. Effect pedal can equally work for voice, it can work for saxophone, it can work, for keyboardists. It is not limited to lead guitarist alone. So don't think that effect pedal is only for lead guitar alone. It can also work for other musical equipment. So in effect world we have the analog simulation and the digital simulation. You need to know this. That is, analog does not mean it will sound better than digital. That is, digital does not mean it will sound better than the analog. It's all about what? Setting and the manufacturers. If it's a good quality pedal, it's a good quality pedal. So that is just it. So going under it, we have a single unit and a multi effect unit. A multi effect unit is basically that it has so many pedals in one particular single unit. Why a single unit means it's single. If it's a chorus, it's chorus. If it's reverb, if it's distortion, if it's overdrive, it's overdrive. That is single unit. Sometimes you can hear people say storm boxes. So this is basically single unit. So still on that effect type, you can hear things like true bypass and buffered signal. A true bypass means that the signal is not being affected by the circuit of that particular unit. But a buffered means that the frequency has been altered, has been affected by the circuit of that particular unit. So that's just basically it. Some basic terms you'll be hearing in effect word, things like bank, presets, patches. So let me just run it in a way you understand it. The bank is, for example, in your Mac, in your laptop, in your phone, you create a folder, and in your folder, you name your folder books. In your folder, it contains a PDF, it contains an ebook. So opening that an ebook, you begin to read the content. So a bank is just like a folder that holds up your content. A bank is a folder that holds your patches. So your patches is your configuration, your settings, your setup. Are you getting it? So your patches is your setup and your configuration. So that is just basically the bank, and patches is same thing. Preset and patch is basically the same thing. So some little advice we need to know on this effect stuff. Take this important note. If you're gonna buy an effect pedal, you need to know this. At least you need to have a decent guitar and a decent amp for you to be talking about getting a effect pedal. The reason is that this is your guitar, your lead guitar signal flowing to the to your amp, and you bought a pedal, an effect pedal. So if the guitar is not decent enough, if the guitar is not decent enough and the amp is not decent enough, probably I don't think the sound will be okay. Even if the amp have the effects loop, that is the send and the return. Once the amp is not decent and the guitar is not decent, I'm not gonna think the sound will be okay. Though it's a personal preference, some people like it not being good. It's still a personal preference though. So that is just basically about things you need to know before talking about getting an effect pedal. Another thing that would also like us to know is that the budget for buying effect pedal like single box and digital multi effect, single box are more costly in getting than buying a digital unit. Reason is that a single delay pedal costs more, a single distortion pedal costs more. So before you buy all these pedal and you compare yourself going to the market, a music store and buying a multi-effect unit, you see yourself spending more on buying single pedal than buying a multi-effect unit. It's a personal preference. Some people like to tweak it the way it normally is, having your own big pedal board, tweaking it and getting your tone. So that is just it. If you're thinking about buying a single unit, you're also gonna think about how to carry it, how to build your pedal board, how to carry your gigs around. So these are some reasons why some people prefer buying a digital multi effect unit. There are some multi effect unit that are not digital. They are just straightforward with individual storm boxes. You can have like delay, reverb, chorus, overdrive, depending on the manufacturer setup, but it is analog. So it is what all personal preference.